All right, it is the top of the hour and we're ready to get started. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon for those on the East Coast. My name is Christian. I am the Events and Sponsorship Manager for DataBank, and we're excited to welcome you to today's webinar, highlighting our newest data center currently under construction in Ashburn, Virginia. Our presenters today will be Tony Corey, Vice President of Construction at DataBank, and Dan Fuentes, our Senior Vice President of Sales at DataBank. The agenda for today, so we'll tell you a little bit about us, about DataBank. We'll review the Ashburn Metro and campus profile. We'll go into the specifications of our data center and the development plan, and then give you some pre-ordering details. At the end of the webinar, we will open up to a question and answer session. So please feel free to drop any questions by clicking on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. Now I'll turn it over to Dan and we'll go ahead and get started.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Christian. If you can go to the next slide. Hi, everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking time to join us during your busy days today. We're excited to speak about this new build and truly appreciate your interest in DataBank and obviously this data center specifically. Christian, if you could go to the next slide. Some quick highlights about DataBank. We were founded in 2005, headquartered in the Federal Reserve Building Bank in Dallas, hence the name DataBank. We've been in business for 17 plus years, consistent revenue, consistent profitability. Happy to say that we're continuing to expand our footprint and our portfolio. Of course, that's the reason we're having this call today. DataBank is a leading edge infrastructure company in the US. We have data centers in more metros than any other public or private provider. 65 plus facilities in 30 edge markets. Nice fact about us, 50% of the US population is within 50 miles of DataBank data centers. If your organization needs to get to the edge, however you define that as yourself, we most likely have a solution for you folks. From a future-proof platform standpoint, in addition to co-location services, which obviously are core and foundational to any strategy, we offer various levels of service, right? DataBank has enterprise cloud services, managed or unmanaged, FedRAMP cloud services where we meet the most stringent compliance requirements. We also offer managed services such as object-based storage, disaster recovery as a service, SAN storage, desktop as a service. Soon, come third quarter or so, we're releasing our bare metal platform. So very exciting for us. And finally, we offer a full suite of managed security services. We help our clients stay secure, meet compliance requirements, services such as DDoS mitigation, IDS, IPS, vulnerability scanning. Currently, we have about 8 security services in our portfolio, backed by a team of security professionals, and of course, our resident CISO, Mark Haupt. Very often, clients take hybrid approaches with us. They leverage multiple DataBank services based on where they need to host their applications. Something that's really good and works out well for our clients is portability, right? So as your needs evolve as a customer, you may have a requirement for co-location services today. You may evolve and need cloud services. DataBank doesn't want to pigeonhole our clients into one service. So we can allow your spend to be transferred over different data centers in different markets. We can obviously port that spend from a co-location service to a cloud service. So once again, just trying to be the best partner we can with our clients. We have over 3,000 customers, ranging from Fortune 500 enterprise clients, hyperscale clients, content companies, all the way down to startup companies, right? We value each and every client the same, whether they have 1, 100, or 1,000 cabinets. They trust us with their lifeline of their organization. And we truly value that responsibility and obviously do all we can to ensure our clients' continued success. If you take a look at our NPS scores, it speaks volumes for how much we care about our clients and always striving to make sure that we take care of you folks. From an investment standpoint, we are well capitalized, as you can expect. We have blue chip investors such as DigitalBridge, Nuveen, TIAA, Allstate, CBRE, Caldion. These are organizations that are in it for the long run. They're long-term funds and investment organizations not looking to make a quick profit and dump the investment. DataBank's recent growth obviously shows the support that we have. In December of 2020, DataBank purchased the zColo assets from Zayo, 45 data centers and cloud services. In the first quarter of this year, we purchased 4 data centers from CyrusOne in Houston. And then we have multiple expansions and multiple new builds: Ashburn, Orangeburg, New York, Denver, Irvine, Salt Lake City, Vegas, just to name a few. Our investors have an inherent knowledge of what we do, right? DigitalBridge is a public company traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're investing in across what we call the digital ecosystem. It's the only global scale infrastructure firm investing in over 5 key verticals. They invest in data centers, they invest in cell towers, fiber networks, small cell networks, and edge infrastructure, so modular data centers. DigitalBridge has more than 25 years of experience, 45 billion in digital assets under management, 23 digital portfolio companies, and more than 100 digital infrastructure professionals. Quite simply put, we believe they're enabling the next generation of mobile and internet connectivity. Our investors are committed in us, we're committed in our clients, and we continue to grow our portfolio of services. Christian, if you could go to the next slide, please. So here's a quick map depicting the 30 markets that we're in our 65 plus data centers. Our facilities range everywhere from tier 3 suburban data centers, obviously with no single point of failure. Also have tier 3 data centers that sit on the edge of metro areas. And then lastly, we have 21 major interconnection sites, or what some of you folks may know as carrier hotels, in 14 metros, right? So we have dedicated space, dedicated infrastructure in these carrier hotels where we're delivering co-location services to our clients. We're a carrier neutral provider. We have over 30,000 interconnections today. We also provide various power densities for our clients. We can cool up to 34 kW per cabinet in standard cooled environments. We can cool between 50 to 100 kW per cabinet in water cooled builds. I mentioned earlier, we have a data center within 50 miles of 50% of the population. So we're known for the ability to deliver our clients, services as close to the edge as possible. Once again, based on what they describe the edge to be for themselves. We do take it a step further. We can provide edge presence services. Basically, we deliver a module data centers basically anywhere a client requires, whether that be under a cell tower or whether that be in a parking lot outside their building. We can provide co-location and interconnection services virtually anywhere a client needs us to provide those services. Christian, if you want to go to the next slide, that'd be great. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Ashburn. If not, some interesting facts. It's known as the data center capital of the world, or data center alley. You can throw a rock and likely hit a major cloud provider or co-location provider or network provider. 70% of the internet's traffic is estimated to flow through the market each and every day. Significant corporate, government, educational presence in the market. And because of the local government, the zoning, the tax incentives, it's really appealing to providers. What's even better than that is that we extend those benefits over to our clients as well. So it's definitely a very successful market for DataBank and other providers as well. Next slide, Christian, if you can. All right, so we are developing 11 acres of land, as you can see by this picture to the left. We do have one existing data center in Ashburn. It's IAD2. It's not on the 11 acres that you see. It's across the road, 71,000 square foot of raised floor space, 10 megawatts of critical IT power. And we also have, as you can see, one data center under construction. It's named IAD3. When all is said and done, there'll be 200,000 square feet of raised floor, 40 megawatts of IT power, and then 12 megawatts of that being ready on day one. This one's near and dear to my heart. I came over with DataBank's acquisition of zColo 15 months ago. I can tell you that I stayed across the road for about 5 years waiting to put a shovel in the ground. DataBank has made that a reality for us. And you can all imagine how excited I was when that day finally came. So very exciting times for DataBank, continuing to grow, continuing to expand our portfolio. And with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Tony Corey, who's our VP of Construction here at DataBank.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Appreciate the handover and the introduction. Just to start off, for those of you that haven't met me, again, I'm Tony Corey, Vice President of Construction, run the expansion projects as well as the customer fit outs here for the portfolio. Similar to Dan, I came over actually via the zColo acquisition. So this job, I kind of hold tight to the hip here. As Dan said, it was about 5 years in the making of start, stop. And then DataBank was able to kind of make this a reality for us as we started to trim about 11 acres worth of trees and expand into a facility that's going to be about 289,000 square feet here. Christian, if you can start with or move to the next slide, please. Just a high level summary. I know Dan touched on it a little bit. The building in its entirety, as I mentioned, is about 290,000 square feet, going about 200,000 square feet of white space. It's going to be comprised of 10 separate data halls on 2 floors. So 5 data halls per floor. Initial build out that we're doing today. So by end of year, we're going to have 3 data halls comprised of 12 megawatts commissioned up to level 5. And the reason we're bringing 12 megawatt in is Dominion's power delivery. They're basically coming in and delivering in 4 different tranches. So between now and 2025, we'll be able to scale in at 12 megawatt, 12 megawatt, 12 megawatt, 4 megawatt year over year. Trying to work to see, obviously, if we can expedite that in any form or fashion. Obviously, as Dan mentioned, every single colocation and hyperscale player is in market. So getting power is a challenge, but we do have 60 meg of utility dedicated to this site. The way it's kind of, next slide, sorry. The way we're kind of set up here in this facility is over 2 data halls, basically the second story and the bottom story. We can take 8 megawatt and distribute between 2 separate data halls. We've master planned it for 4 meg per data hall, but as customers want to build more or less dense, we're able to kind of move that power around and diversify throughout the building. It is a block redundant power design. The building is structured around exterior UPS modules to capitalize in as much interior white space as possible. So our power rooms are going to be their own individual buildings on the exterior of the building in a power yard. Just adjacent to it will be set up 3 megawatt cat generators. And again, back to final build there, 40 meg of IT throughout 10 data halls there. HVAC, cooling. So we stay away from water on a lot of our builds. The Northeast specifically, Dan mentioned Orangeburg was another build that we're currently working on. So we've cut a partnership with Vertiv on their DA250 pump refrigerant cooling system. Basically, our data halls, again, at 4 meg or at M plus 20% redundancy. Our standard build in these designs are around 200 watts a square foot. But again, if we need to modify that based on a customer demand, we can increase up to about 300 watts a square foot in these type of builds for building as such. Interconnection. So the campus itself is interconnecting to the IAD2 site across Red Rum Drive. So all carriers are going to be able to pull in from 2 separate diverse routes about 75 feet apart, cutting across to Red Rum. We've also created an opportunity with 2 separate point of entrances and 3 handholds on the IAD campus alone. So that if new providers wanted to pull in, they've got an opportunity to pull into that site as well as interconnect to the site across the street. And facility security, standard process, all our sites, 2-factor authorization, man traps. As you come into the site, you'll have a circle lock turnstile. The site will be staffed 24 hours, perimeter fence in, electronic sign in, typical with every single data center that DataBank runs in the portfolio today. And then some of the amenities we'll be providing. And again, this is pretty standard with majority of our facilities. We'll have break rooms, shipping and receiving, storage rooms, conference rooms, office space. What we've done day one for this facility is be able to create for a lobby entrance with multiple conference rooms with an area for customers to come in, take a coffee break. We'll have our NOC set up. We'll have our operations staff set up. And then we've got 3 additional wings within the facility that's going to provide up to about 12,000 square feet. Day one, we'll kind of leave that in a white box environment. And as customers come in to deploy, those will basically be built to suite office/storage environments. So as we sign on deals, we're able to be flexible there to provide for our customer needs. And touching back on the timeline, grand opening is Q4. By the 29th of December, I plan on having 12 megawatt of IT fully commissioned. So that Q1 date is, like a January 1 type deployment where we would be able to have a customer fully deployed. We are able to bring 4 megawatt in a little earlier. Our first power tranche is end of September of when Dominion is able to deliver to us. So we're able to get 4 megawatt towards that end of September, early October timeline, plus another 8 towards the end of the year. And then as you see year over year up through 2025, that's when we'll be able to bring another 12 megawatt, 12 megawatt, and 4 megawatt online. Obviously, folks will probably ask about supply chain. We're staying at least a year ahead on this site and other campuses throughout the portfolio, where we're at least 16 to 18 months ahead with procuring the equipment for the next tranche. So as I speak today, I've got basically the next 12 megawatt ready to go and be deployed for about June of next year. That power won't be available though till after September based on how Dominion is delivering, but the equipment will be set in place and ready to start up.
So real quick, we understand the facility is not ready yet. We want to give you a quick understanding of how you can contact us if you're interested. So Christian, if you can go to the next slide, that would be wonderful. So any pre-conversations before construction is done, post-conversations after construction is done, contact your DataBank sales team, your account executive or your account manager or your solution engineer. If you're not quite sure who that is, or if you don't have one yet, contact me. You'll see my email address and my cell phone number up there as well. I'll definitely point you in the right direction. As we have conversations, all the standard kind of information we'd probably ask you up front is, what's your estimated power draw? How much square footage would you need? How secure do you want us to build the cage? Is it a standard cage? Is it DoD spec? And also just from a contracting standpoint, when do you need the environment ready? What term are you looking at? How can we ramp you into the space to make it most economically friendly as possible? And then just staying abreast of the construction. You can see the URL over here that's kind of showing some site pictures. Also on top of that, of course, we're going to update our website for you folks to take a look at. And lastly, once again, just contact your DataBank sales team and we'll jump all over it and kind of give you an update as to where we stand with the build. Christian, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dan and Tony. We are going to move into a question and answer session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to click on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and we can answer those for you. While we're waiting for a few questions to come in, I just wanted to give you some contact information. So if you do have any questions, Dan gave you some contact information as well. You can contact webinars@databank.com for more information or a personal follow-up. We'll give it a few minutes for any questions or answers to come through. Looks like we might not have any questions today, but please feel free to reach out at the contact information that Dan gave, as well as webinars@databank.com. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. We post news about our upcoming expansions, new builds, also upcoming events. So if you follow us on LinkedIn, you can see all of the news that comes out about DataBank's growth. And again, thank you so much for Tony and Dan for presenting today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday, great rest of your week. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.